Kade, so good to see you again. How are you doing?
Hello, Martin. Yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
We start with
Yep.
the most important
Cheers.
thing, yeah. Cheers.
Absolutely. We've got to share a beer across the water. Mm.
Yeah, we are living in amazing times because not so long ago it would have been impossible, to meet over a place called internet and then to meet even, not in person yet, but anyhow in video calls and stuff like this. And yes, you have been one of our three main winners when we did this scoring competition, the Endlich Allein. It was an amazing track. I liked it a lot, and Andreas liked it a lot, and of course even Hanno. I suggest we quickly play it so everybody knows what we are talking about, and then we dive into our conversation.
Thank you.
Have you packed already?
Yes, baby.
Where are you traveling to?
As I said, our secret.
If I have questions?
No calls.
I love you. See you soon.
I'm pleased.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Alone at last. Mark? What's this shit?
Now be a good girl and drink this.
You're still here?
Yes, why not?
Can I speak to Franca for a minute?
Malone, man. Franca is on vacation.
Thought she was going with you, man.
She wanted to be alone. Horror film. Alone, at last.
From what I knew and what I saw from your YouTube channel, which, by the way, who isn't subscribed to Kade, this is the very right moment to jump over to his channel and to subscribe to his channel. You are way more into music for video games. Adventure forged in music and this stuff, fantasy stuff and like this. So I guess this scoring competition was pretty hard, scoring to picture. Or are you anyhow into scoring to picture for?
I've dabbled here and there. I've joined with the QTube. I presume, I guess you're aware of the QTube, and they produce small films that you can score to, and obviously things like Spitfires competitions and so on. But yeah, my usual sort of genre would be fantasy, gaming, but also tabletop gaming. So obviously my name comes from the tabletop world, which is D20, which is the 20-sided dice.
Okay.
And that's basically my inspiration for a lot of my music, and it's constant source of inspiration, actually.
I guess so. I mean, I must admit, yes, I waste a lot of my time gaming, but unfortunately, only Fortnite. My son introduced it to me years back, and it never. There's no other video game that I'm playing. I'm playing only this one, but I really like it. And the only game that I play once in a while with Fabio, a friend of mine from Rome. You might have heard of him, might have seen him in the chat list. Is Hero Quest. So maybe Hero Quest goes a little bit in that direction, but probably for someone like you, it's too much guided, I think, or is it?
Hero Quest and any of those sort of fantasy type games, they're perfect for what I do, really. I can turn my hand to, as you know, I can turn my hand from fantasy to robots. So, with my track Kiss My Jaeger, which was
you anticipated this is exactly what I had in mind for the thumbnail for this video. This Kiss My Jaeger track, this was a huge surprise, I think, for everyone when we had this, you play, we listen stream, and then you came up with this Kiss My Jaeger, and everyone was like, what? And whomever I played it to is just like, what? Who's that guy? It's an amazing track, and it shows even how versatile you are as a musician. And And I was reading some interviews that you did in the past, and there was one thing that I really admire, because you were tough enough to make this huge step to say, I love music, I would love to live from music, and you decided, which is tough, to leave your day job and to look for a part-time job to have more time for writing music.
That's correct, yeah. I'm in the kind of fortunate position where I don't have a big family to look after and things like that. So like yourself, I know you've got children and things, and obviously that takes precedence. But my situation was different. I had an opportunity to say, okay, well, I'm going to pursue this. I'm still working on it. And I hope to grow. I am actually seeing quite some growth at the moment, so I'm quite pleased with how things are going. Slow, but it's heading upwards, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, it was a decision, a conscious decision to make, and I knew I'd be broke for some time. So, but I'm happy with the decision that I've made and the music that I make now. Like you say, I'm quite versatile.
Absolutely, yeah.
As much as I can in all different sorts of ways. So to have the time to do that is important.
Yeah. So you write music even for libraries to get some, or?
I have a few pieces out on libraries. I guess I'm still trying to grow at the moment. I mean, I was watching Andreas's video with Maria, the second place winner.
Yeah.
And just looking at her sort of backstory, and her, she's classically trained, brilliant violinist,
brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm thinking, like, how did I come close to there? Or Andreas, the winner as well. Fantastic, like mind-blowing sort of track that he came out with. And you know, and I'm thinking, how did I get close to those? But I'm very astounded that I did. So thank you.
Yeah, but your track had everything that we've been asking for, because obviously, you know, the thing between the musical storytelling and the sound design is quite usual to get as a briefing. There was the overall storytelling, yes, and then of course, as we wanted to have, you know, even a little fun factor, we were asking for this surprising moment, and lots of people understood it the way we meant it, because this clip, you know, taken out of its context, is even more brutal than when you see the whole short movie. I mean, it's anyhow brutal and there's anyhow violence involved, but into those 90 seconds, which I edited, it's even, you know, more violent and more brutal. So, you know, some of those fun moments took out some of the pressure that there are, because there's some psychological explanation in the whole movie why he acts the way he did. Because he was just jealous about the career that the girl is doing, his girlfriend is doing, and so, you know, your track had really everything that we have been looking for. It was amazingly produced, even, you know, the mixing, the mastering, the EQing, but you have the background to do it, you know exactly, you know, which knobs to turn, and you can hear it. So we liked it a lot, and we are happy that Hanno even liked it, because, you know, he sees it from a complete different perspective. And
Yeah, he goes like gut feeling and goes, "Yep, that's a film score," and I happily see
exactly,
that on the
this is
screen.
why I was so surprised, even because, you know, we follow each other since quite some time now, and I know your tracks and I like your music. But this was so surprising for me, even to say, wow, hey, this guy can even score to picture, which is different, I mean, I'm coming more from that direction, and now with the reviews and stuff like this, I'm getting even more into writing tracks and the demo tracks and that stuff. And especially if you have to work with the director, it can take so much
Yeah,
of artistical freedom out of it, because they really, you know, they have their idea, and then you're just the, how you say, the craftsman, you know, doing what they want to hear. It's not what you would like to, it's just what. And this is why even those scoring competitions, they are nearly real world situations, and I'm happy really that I teamed up with Andreas, and that now we have access even to material like this, because yes, you mentioned the Cube, and I collaborated in the past even with Brian. But unfortunately, and I'm not taking away anything from anyone, by the way, he's doing an amazing job, but some of the clips, they come out a little random. You know, there is not really a consistent story in it or something like this. So you have so much artistic freedom. And now they produced this movie recently, and then of course it's a complete different story, or yeah.
yeah, he's trying a lot of different things to keep things moving, I guess. So
Yeah, no,
and that
absolutely. And
can be a little bit disjointed sometimes.
I'm pretty sure, you know, even, you know, the difference between scoring, like in this case, you know, you have been scoring the movie or rescoring, or like in your case, and when I write the demo tracks for the libraries, there's the music first, you know, and music is first place, and then you would like to have pictures to suit that music. And I have the huge chance, and I can't thank him often enough, with Dave Cushing, who made so many visuals for my demo tracks recently, because then at least when the music makes da 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 da, boom, and then you have the pictures even making that boom. And this is something we are working on at the moment, and I will have a video pretty soon that we would like to help the musicians that have the music and need visuals to that music, and not the other way around, to provide them with the visuals for their existing music track and stuff like this. So yeah, I mean, maybe talking about libraries, because now we have been in demo tracks and stuff like this.
Sure.
I know that you're a big fan of Heaviosity too, which is
Absolutely, yeah,
absolutely.
I've got Gravity 2 right there.
And yeah, thanks again, of course, to Heaviosity for sponsoring this. And it was not even the first time; it was the second or the third time that they sponsored.
I was actually hoping I didn't win because I've already got it.
but they are so fantastic. They would have given you something else than maybe Novo or Forza or whatsoever.
Yeah, or I would have said put it to somebody else, or like.
Oh, okay. But anyhow, I if I remember well, you even in one of the interviews you said something which made me laugh, because even you there said this know your tools, which I say, I think since the very first video, know your libraries, know your tools, and that's so cool that someone else is having exactly the same phrase. And
well, it's probably your influence, Martin.
Like
it's probably straight from you, straight from your influence. I'd say.
I don't think so. But anyhow, in this interview, even you have been talking about free libraries, and even this is so amazing time. There are so many fantastic free libraries at the moment.
Some brilliant ones coming out lately. The blueprints from Fractured Sounds. They're fantastic little samples of what they're about to produce. Or what they have. And they're well worth downloading for anybody. There's another one, another string library, Roots. Is it by Westwood?
Exactly, the Untold Strings from Westwood. What?
Brilliant. Oh, it's beautiful.
Really? What? I wrote them when this is.
I'm going to give you a little tip actually for a freebie, and it's one that I always go to. It's a solo trumpet from Norland. It's just called Norland Solo Trumpet, and not many people know about it. You obviously do, I'd say, but it's one of the best trumpets you'll ever likely to find, and it's free, or maybe a donation you want to leave to the guys. It's amazing. It's got 14 mutes and all these different vibratos, and you don't have key switches. You just play it, and it's beautiful. So I love a good free library.
Performance samples, their cello even is one of the really amazing cellos out there for free, and there is good stuff. So it might take you a little longer with the free libraries to really get results that you are aiming for, because you might need then some plugins. Even there are so many stock plugins that are for free and that are so good. And yeah, it's amazing. If someone would like to start out, get a laptop, get a computer, get a DAW. I mean, there was Studio One. When I started out again around 2020, my Mac died, and I needed to switch until I could afford a new Mac to PC, and I went for Studio One, which even was free at the time, until you needed Contact. If you needed external, then you needed to buy at least, I think, the artist version of the list, and then start with the free libraries and make your first steps and learn a little bit, about mixing, mastering, EQing.
Yeah, it's ideal if you're unsure of how to go about things. You just want to get started and not have a massive expense. There's so much free stuff out there. There's Labs, there's Crow Hill Company, there's tons of freebies, and you can make some really good music with it. And I actually use Studio One, by the way. That's my DAW of choice.
It's good. It's really good, and it was way easier for me to get my Korg Nano Control and all those controllers running in Studio One than in Logic. I had a big pain getting the Korg thing running into Logic. This is why I made then a video about it, and this is my most viewed video ever. So I think a lot of people must have problems with getting an external controllers running in Logic. Yeah, we will see next Monday. New Logic comes out with an, there's this artificial drummer since always in Logic, which is amazing. But now there's even a bass player and a keyboardist. Curious.
Yeah.
What they would do.
Fantastic stuff that you can get. Studio One just came out with a new sort of like leads sort of VST, but for and it's for people who do the subscription model. I don't do that. I actually buy things outright. I'll never do subscription. But if you've got the subscription, you've got a new free VST, which is like supposedly really good for what it is as well. Plus all the other stuff that you get for free with Studio One, all the effects, and you've got some good stuff in there. So
yeah, make good music always, whoever is watching this video.
Yeah, learn your tools.
Yeah, exactly. and you're in London, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So how is
yes.
As you can see here, it's already really nearly summer. It's
actually beautiful outside. I've got my shutters shut because of the reflections and the
okay,
light.
okay, yeah.
And I don't have so much of a nice private area as either at the moment, so I'm kept inside. But it's actually really beautiful outside. Next week I'm planning on heading up the country a bit, and my sister's just moved to Scotland, and I'm going to be ended up there. Maybe I'll get some Celtic vibes for another new track.
Good. What are you working on at the moment?
At the moment, and this is versatility again. At the moment, I'm working on. It's inspired by Patagonia, so Argentina, Chile, and those sorts of areas. So South American, and I'm working on an adventure track plus an atmospheric track plus maybe a little battle track, like a little thing. So it's kind of like a commission for someone who asked me to help out. So which is nice, and I'm learning a new instrument, Malaventum too.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
I don't have it, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Woodwinds. It's got the woodwinds, which are very central, South American type sounds,
Yes,
and very ancient. And that's fun to learn that tool as well.
And you play the keyboard, or is there anything else that you play? I think the guitar. Do I remember well?
No, I actually don't play anything at all. I do play the keyboard a bit, but nothing spectacular. I'm not a musician. I know when I was young, I think about 12 or 13, I brought home a trombone. My mum and dad weren't very happy about that. So they bought me a keyboard, which was just a synthesizer with some headphones. Yeah, but they didn't want the trombone. Don't know why.
No, I was lucky. I got a drum set once, and it was there in the garden, and I was playing it there whenever the weather allowed it. My neighbors hated it, obviously. I loved it. But then
you've been in that country for quite some time.
I moved to Italy in 2020. Yes, and funny enough, precisely this morning, with my wife, we discovered that it's precisely 10 years now that we live in this place. So 10 years ago, we bought this wonderful house, which we were really lucky, because it was on the market for so long that they couldn't sell it. So the price really,
nice.
Yeah. Once in a while, you need to have luck, and then I was lucky, really.
Yeah, of course, you're supposed to just enjoy it, I guess. Hope you get to enjoy it, or have enough time to enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, you can see this is our favorite place normally.
Nice.
Thing is switched on 5 days a week because we're really carnivores. So
lovely. That's really nice, actually. Yeah, I could do a barbecue and a beer.
And a beer, exactly. It's so warm in front of that. You need some beer, otherwise you.
Yeah, I was listening to your listening to your track with the violin piece that you orchestrated.
Yeah.
That was an amazing track. What I liked about that was the dynamics, the way you started that off nice and low and build it, and then it went a bit playful, and then it went grand, and I love that kind of thing, like the dynamics of things where it just sort of plays around with things, keeps you interested all the way.
Well, thank you.
So I was just going to ask, how did you find working with a proper, violinist, like someone who can play a proper instrument?
The video is still due, and I really hope to get it out as soon as possible. Just as how I made it. The funny story is this guy, he was really famous in Italy, and he's having concerts in Germany, in Los Angeles, so he's even traveling a lot. He's living 10 kilometers from here, and I was looking for a violin teacher for my daughter. And so someone gave me his number telling, listen, no way he will teach. He just doesn't have time, but it was around Corona. So he had some month before the concert started again. So we met. And we had a deal at the beginning, like he didn't wanted money for teaching my daughter, but he wanted me to teach him orchestral writing with libraries. So we were just exchanging our wisdom, if you will. But he then realized, okay, no chance. I mean, I'm this, and I don't have enough time really now to study the libraries and the modulation and the expression and all this stuff and the chordal writing. It's not like this if you arrange for strings and all this stuff. And this was the very first time. I mean, it's not true. It's not. It was the very first time that we made something together, because we already wrote 3 songs together, which he needs to record now, the solos and then the melodies and stuff like this. And he asked me in the past, but I didn't have time. And this time I just took the time, because he phoned like on Friday. Can you do something for Tuesday? And you will see in the video what he said even. But I said, okay, let's do this. Let's do this finally. Let's do this. And yes, the result was amazing. And the journey that I went through, because obviously I knew my go-to libraries, because even if you have hundreds of libraries, you use 6 or 8 of them at the end. But I needed something textual for the beginning, and this was the big trap, and it was very, we will talk about it in the video then. Bunker samples, they really did the job amazingly. Even if I didn't, it wasn't my first choice, to be honest. I had something else in mind, but it wasn't musical enough.
Sure.
No chance to play with it. So I discarded a lot of textual libraries that day.
I look forward to the video.
Yeah.
I'd love to work with a real musician like you did there. The closest I've got is a singer. I know a really good singer. He's actually part of the extended family. He's had a few issues lately with his family, hospitals and things like that, so he's not really been too available, but he's got an amazing voice, and to create something that he can sing to, and we're talking about, again, versatility, is very rock oriented. So I've actually got one recorded with him, and we've yet to release it, from the Cranberries, Zombie, but it's like an a cappella. But I also want to do a heavy rock one with him. So I've actually got, I don't know if you know Impact Soundworks Hydra.
Yeah, of course.
I got that. And
me too. And
guitar thing, I love it.
Like Ex Machina from Sound Iron. Wow.
Ex Machina.
And then of course the damaged guitars and that stuff. I mean, yes, now as you said, I even did something with Ricky. Maybe you saw her even in the chat. I arranged 2 songs for her, which, as you say, it's about versatility and about getting into their mind. Because Valentino, of course, he's huge, and he knew precisely what he wanted. Even he didn't give me that much artistical freedom. Of course, we know each other, so he knows my style, and 80% was perfect, let's say, out of the box. But then, of course, there came his this and this and this and this. The reviews.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Ricky at that time wasn't that demanding, but anyhow, you need to understand their musician and what they are looking for, and what it's music is amazing. I mean, it's so joyful.
So yeah, like I say, I'd love to work with a musician in that. So anyone wants to do a collab, hit me up.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have the how you say, not the guts, the the knowledge and all this to do it, because you really proved it again and again and again. It's always nice to head over to your channel and see what you did. And then I'm really looking for the next, you play, we listen, because I'm sure you have another surprise up your sleeve. So, yeah.
I'm actually, another project that I'm working on is Warhammer. I'm doing a Warhammer, kind of might be an album, which will be a lot darker than I'm used to doing. So that's another style which I've got to get used to a little bit, but something darker and much more broody, maybe a little bit epic, but very dark. So that'll be a different mood.
Good.
But I'll always try and put a bit of somewhere.
Which, by the way, I mean, this screen that you have behind you is huge.
Yeah.
40, what is it?
Oh, that's 50. So that's 50. That's 50.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my little control room here. So I've got my keyboard underneath you. My iPad usually sits there, and I'll put a video on there if I need some inspiration or pictures and that kind of thing. And then yeah, so that's me. Yeah, it takes a bit of time and a bit of effort to become versatile. The reason why I became versatile was listening to Bear McCreary. He's like a really good film composer, TV composer, and game composer. And he said, like, my versatility got me where I am. And I said, okay, let's try that. So it takes a bit of time, but we'll get there one day.
Yes. 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 It's little steps. But yes, as long as you keep doing it and keep learning at the end. It's not even improving, maybe it's just learning, new things, different things, and stuff like this. Yes.
Well, I always make sure, even now, I'm never going to stop learning. And I'll always look for something on YouTube that I can pick out and go, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Or I'll always listen to yourself. I'll listen to other folk, Christian Henson, Guy Mitchell, people like that. They're fantastic teachers. They're good fun, generally speaking.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's it's a really nice little community. Like, I love the community you're building right now. You know, it's growing steadily, I think. I hope it grows and grows for you and for all of us, really. How are you finding being a community leader?
Well, I don't see myself as a community leader, honestly. I never had this role in mind or something. I'm just part of the community. I mean, maybe, you know, I just had yeah, the courage to make this channel. So you know, you see me on the screen, but that's it. I'm not different to anyone. And you see this especially when we do these streams, just these community streams or stuff like this. Yes, you said it's one community. I think there isn't a leader, or I think it's not even needed. You don't need a leader in a community. You know, it's just a together of creative minds.
I mean, I watch you because you've got a love for what you do, you know, an enthusiasm, and that's great. And I love that enthusiasm, and it builds enthusiasm for everyone.
But it's not easy. It's not easy because, you know, I started this out of love, and the very first libraries, for example, I presented, I showed them out of love. Of course, even at that time I had more, but I showed the ones that really touched me, and developers realized, wow, look at this guy. There is enthusiasm, there is love. And then, you know, libraries just start to come in, but not every library touches me.
Yeah, so I mean, I know you have a really good relationship with some developers, you know, like particularly Heavy, but obviously some of the smaller devs as well. How do you feel that relationship has built for you and is pushing you forwards?
Of course. I mean, of course, if you get to talk to a developer, doesn't matter if small or big, and some, for example, in Heaviosity, there's Ari Winters, you know, and if those people then send you an email and you get to talk to them and to discuss with them, or you have them even in the chat during your presentations, it's just like me, you know, me, as I said before, I'm not a leader. I'm not seeing myself as a leader. I'm just, you know, a very small musician, a very small YouTube channel. But anyhow, I had bunker samples, I had Heaviosity, I had Triumph Audio. I had, you know, so many Tonsturm recently, you know, so many of the developers even in the chat during the live stream. You say, wow, how much can I give to the community that they can chat with the developer in real time? I mean, you never ever have the chance to really, you know, to touch them. And now, you know, I'm able to make a live stream and you can chat and ask the developer himself, and this, yeah, that's a huge motivation, obviously. And I'm always hot if I get, you know, a message, Instagram or WhatsApp or email. It depends, you know, of the developer, how we communicate. Like, hey, we're coming up with something in 1 month. Are you interested, or stuff like this? And you know, even this privilege to be, you know, a little ahead of time. And for example, with Emergence Audio, it even went so far that for one of the libraries, I participated in creating some of the presets. Which even this was a huge like, would you like to do some presets for us? Like, yes.
Oh yeah. Amazing. Yeah, that's got to be yeah, it's not something you think about when you start music.
No.
Some presets for this developer.
Not even if you start a YouTube channel, because I never ever imagined that someone would notice me and maybe ask, you know, for a review. And then there comes the first email, hey, would you like to do something for us? Or with Project Sam. Project Sam was one of the very first developers, where then I even from one of the founders, I got an email like giving me so many tips, what I was doing good and what I was doing bad in my videos, and where I should look after. And you know, this is wow. I mean, they're taking me serious. It's like, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, more power to you.
So yeah, Kate, I'm pretty sorry that the time is nearly over.
Okay.
It was a huge pleasure
really enjoyable
to see you again, to talk to you again, and yeah, no, we just 40 minutes gone like this. It felt like 2 or 3, but yes, we are in contact anyhow. And as I said,
yes.
I can't wait for your next surprise when we make the next.
I will bring you one for sure. Yeah, definitely.
You play the live stream, which I'm pretty sure it will be around June. Around June, we should repeat this because everybody's enjoying it. Everybody is enjoying it.
It's amazing to see your reaction in real time. Is great, and obviously chats as well.
Yeah,
And,
that's it. All the people then reacting, even and writing, encouraging, or even telling like, yeah, but maybe the strings have been too monotonous, or the drums have been too loud, or it's even it's just an amazing thing
I
that
like all.
technology now allows us to have those virtual meetings, which in real life, I think it wouldn't even be possible. I mean, everybody would need to come with his laptop and play his thing.
Okay. It's been a pleasure, Martin. Thank you very much.
It was a huge pleasure, really. Again, congrats on your win. Absolutely deserved. Absolutely. And continue with your very, very good music, with your wonderful journey. Keep us updated, and see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you. Take care.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.